It's a masterpiece. It is an absolute masterpiece. We just saw one of the best Severance episodes ever. Season 2, Episode 7 of Severance is now available, and it is an absolute world-class episode of television. We have to break it all down as we have been given the entire backstory of Mark and Gemma. Everything we have been hoping to get, we are finally getting answers for. Mark and Gemma have such a traumatic and sad backstory. Like, yes, they were happy. Yes, they met in the best of circumstances as they were both professors at the college, but they were picked and prodded at. They were targeted by Lumen from the very beginning. It is clear there were so many signs throughout the entire flashbacks that we were seeing, from the doctor being at the fertility clinic, all of the logos everywhere from Lumen. It seems like Lumen had their claws sunk in and wanted Gemma from the start for some reason that we don't really know of, but she was the #1 draft pick by Lumen, and sadly, she was, from the get-go, always destined to be where she currently is at. After everything that we saw in this episode, the biggest question I have right now is Gemma actually Gemma, and is she really alive? Because we have always known that Gemma did die in a car accident, and we learned this episode that Mark wasn't actually with her, but he did identify a body. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because the Gemma that we did meet in this episode very much felt like she had kind of these memories of a former self, having visions, remembering Mark, but has never really met him before. It felt like she was clinging on to the idea of Mark and the relationship that they had, the life they had, but that she, in fact, has never actually gone through it. It's just the vibe I have right now. It's just the immediate feeling I have after watching this episode, and it also might be a little bit of me clinging on to the idea of Lumen cloning. I've kind of paid attention to that theory for a little bit now and thought that Gemma could very well be a clone, or the beginning stages of Lumen trying to clone, and this could be another example of that, of Gemma not actually making it out of the car accident, but Lumen taking the opportunity because she was the perfect test subject to clone her and make her go through all of the things we saw in this episode. I don't fully believe it, but it is definitely an idea to keep an eye on right now. Now let's talk about all of the rooms that we saw with Gemma and everything that she was experiencing as she was going through this severance vision experience, if you will. It seems like all of these rooms are different situations. We had the plane crash, we had her writing thank you cards, we had the dentist. It almost feels as if Lumen may be experimenting and testing her to see which kind of situations people would want to be severanced for, or severed for, excuse me. And we have all been talking about Mark's job at Lumen. Like, why is he so important at what he is doing, specifically when it comes to Cold Harbor? And then we have had the idea that he could possibly be playing with or adding to Gemma's personality as they're possibly rebuilding her. But what if it has to do with the emotions that she deals with inside those rooms